The Holy Gospel according to Saint Matthew. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden light." By the words of the Holy Scriptures, may our sins be forgiven. One of the fables deals with a dispute between the sun and the wind. The dispute was over which of the two was the stronger. One day, an opportunity arose to settle the dispute. A person dressed in a coat was walking down a deserted country road, and the sun said to the wind, "Whoever makes that person remove the coat faster will be the winner." The wind not only agreed, but decided to go first. He blew and blew, but the more he blew, the tighter the person held on to the coat. Finally exhausted, the wind gave up. Then the sun took over. It merely shone in all its glory. Within minutes, the person took off the coat. The moral of the story was this: you can achieve more by gentleness than by violence. Today, gentleness is not as highly regarded as it once was. There was a time when the best compliment you could pay someone was to call him or her a gentle person. Our word, gentleman, testifies to this. Today, violence is more popular than gentleness. Television has given it a widespread audience because it gets big ratings. All of this has taken its toll on us. It is our dubious honor to have coined such expressions as battered woman and abused child. Our own families reflect the violence of our age. We shout, kick things, throw things, and even strike one another. How different from what Jesus taught us. "Learn from me," said Jesus, "because I am gentle and humble in spirit." The prophet Isaiah foretold the gentleness of Jesus when he said, "He will not shout or raise his voice or make loud speeches in the streets. He will not break off a bent reed nor put out a flickering lamp." A beautiful example of the gentleness of Jesus is the way he handled the case of the woman caught in adultery. Jesus was gentle not only to the woman, but also with her self-righteous accusers. Jesus did not shout. Jesus did not scream or yell. He simply bent over gently and wrote in the sand with his finger. His action stood out like a clap of thunder in the silence of a summer's night. Jesus taught us to be gentle also. He held up for our imitation the shepherd of the parable of the lost sheep. He did not beat the sheep or drag it home. He placed it gently on his shoulders. Jesus also held up for our imitation the father in the parable of the prodigal son. The father did not shout at his wayward son. He did not hustle him. Rather, he hugged him. He embraced him. Today's gospel contains an important invitation for all of us. It invites us to learn from Jesus because he is gentle and humble in spirit. Concretely, what does this mean in the weeks ahead? First, it means we try to respond to people as the Son did in the fable of the wind and the sun. We try to respond with genuine warmth. Second, it means we try to respond to those who wrong us, as Jesus did in the case of the sinful woman, as the father did in the parable of the prodigal son. We try to respond with understanding. Let us conclude with prayer. Please follow along with me in silence. Lord, during the week ahead, let us remember the lesson of the Son in the fable of the wind and the sun. Help us remember the words of your Son who said, "Learn from me, because I am gentle and humble in spirit."